So like the only way to get into cars to go through this long process of actually manually taking off the door, which really only Rivian technicians know how to do. Now, the reason the battery died so fast, Rivian couldn't even figure it out and didn't even tell me.
$41,000 to repair the damage on this Rivian R1T, or at least that's what the owner was quoted, to replace the bedside by his local Rivian certified body shop. From my understanding, the insurance company actually wanted to total the truck out due to the cost of the repair. Now, before you ask, the problem here is that these trucks aren't designed like a standard pickup. So in order to replace the bedside, which also happens to be part of the cab, which also happens to be part of the roof, requires a ton of disassembly and work to replace.
I've been doing a series on why mechanics hate working on certain vehicles, but mostly it's about the poor engineering designs. So now we will again look at social media, particularly TikTok videos. And this video is about mechanics that hate working on Rivian vehicles. But it's not only about the mechanics hate working on the vehicles. It's also after the fact that a lot of people go out and they buy these vehicles without doing their proper research. And some of that frustration is very real. But the loudest clips leave out the part that matters. Rivian still keeps a tight grip on service and repairs. But let me correct the easy take. It is not always mechanics are lazy or they just hate EVs.
So the owner of the truck actually ended up doing a little bit of research, and he found Matt Boyette, the owner of All Out PDR in Jacksonville, Florida. After talking to Matt, sending him some photos, having some discussions, sending him some videos, Matt decided to take the job, and the truck was shipped 6 hours to his shop. The video that you're actually looking at now was uploaded to Matt's YouTube channel in order to document the repair, and the results are mind-blowing. Matt and his team were able to repair all the damage using paintless dent removal in 3 days, maintaining all the factory parts, the factory paint, and of course, avoiding a hit on the Carfax. Getting this done at a body shop probably would have taken weeks, maybe months with the way things are these days. All I know is I've seen some impressive PDR repairs, but this one right here, this one might take the cake.
Another thing is that Rivian's own user guide says high voltage service should only be done by trained techs, and Rivian strongly recommends service at a Rivian authorized center, mobile service vehicle, or their repair facility. That narrows down who can actually work on these trucks and SUVs.
Question for my fellow Rivian owners out there. The other day, my 2026 R1S Rivian just wouldn't drive. It said driving disabled, service park brake system, and they towed it. They gave me a rental car, a sweet minivan. Got the dogs in it. Real upgrade from the Rivian, but is this a recurring thing? Is it going to take a long time to fix? They have no idea when we're going to get it back, so that's really cool. Yeah, just want to see if anybody's had experience with this and if it's going to be a recurring thing, because that would stink. Love that car. I miss it, but this is really inconvenient. Let me know.
No, welcome to the EV world. If you're seeing these clips, do not stop at the punchline. Just watch the repair issue, not just the rant. And hit subscribe if you want the real talk on what's happening around right now. Rivian is still building out its service network in the US and Canada, and its own support page says service center visits are by appointment only. And that only means that a simple problem can turn into scheduling delays and transport hassles and a long wait for the right fix.
So here's the problem. You got a full charger here. Well, all the stalls were taken. And then you got one of these Rivian guys that's charging at a Tesla charger. And since their charger is on this side, this guy's actually taking up 2 stalls. So he's taking up this one, and he's blocking this one from anyone being able to use it. Like, it's just stupid. So now, yeah. So if someone comes, these are full, even though there's an empty charger, they can't use it because of this guy. And that's kind of really stupid.
And it's not only charging problems you're seeing. Rivian has its own set of problems. Rivian also has a process for independent repair shop to request access to service their documentation. And this is not a total dead end, but it still shows the brand knows access is part of the fight. Now, look at the track record. Consumer Reports says that the 2025 R1S is less reliable than other cars from the same model year NHTSA recall filings in 2025 and early 2026, they also covered lighting, software, and the safety issue involving the 2022 to 2025 R1 vehicles. So when a mechanic says they hate working on Rivian vehicles, the real complaint is usually time, tooling, access, and parts flow.
Rivian just earned one of the most unusual split scores in Consumer Reports' 2026 overall brand report card. The electric automaker ranked at the bottom for reliability, yet it took the top spot for owner satisfaction. According to the report, 85% of Rivian owners said they would buy one again, despite frequent issues tied to new technology and early production challenges. Consumer Reports says Rivian drivers are willing to tolerate those growing pains because they love the performance, design, and overall experience of the vehicles. It is a rare case where passion for the product outweighs the problems, highlighting just how strong Rivian's brand connection has become.
And this is the part that social media actually skips. The truck looks clean on camera, but the repair side can be totally messy. And that is the honest take. Not hype, not brand, not hate. Just the reality that Rivian still has work to do on service, and mechanics feel that first.
I hate to say it, but Rivian is probably going bankrupt before the R3 comes out. I love this car. I think it looks dope. I want it to work. But the facts are the facts. Rivian reported in their year-end earnings that they're losing $43,000 per car. And that's before they shut down the factory this year and start a whole new battery technology, which will be very costly for them. Rivian's net loss was $6.8 billion in 2022 and $5.4 in 2023. And the R2 is stated to sell at $45,000. The math is not math. The R2 and the R3 are set to come out in 2026, but I don't know if Rivian's going to make it that long. They claim that they'll have a modest profit by Q4, but we'll see. It would make me pretty nervous to buy a car from a company that might go bankrupt. That's my hot take. Knowing all the facts, would you buy a Rivian right now?
Sucker is born every day, and people will still go out and buy these vehicles because the aesthetics is what they look at first, not necessarily the reliability and how the car actually performs on the road. And they will worry about the bill after it comes. As they always say, live today, worry about it tomorrow. And that's the plight of many consumers who actually goes out there and buy cars.
They said get an EV, right? Get an electric vehicle. It's going to be great. I got it. Oh, yeah. But look, 7-mile range. Charge immediately. I'm sweating bullets. I won't be home for another 7 minutes. Oh, God. Engine power reduced charge. I'm stressed about. This is... I don't know. I think I'd rather gas. This shit is not cool. I don't like this. Now I'm at a light. 6-mile range. Charge immediately. Jesus. Please, Jesus, get me home. Get me home, please. And if you're wondering why I didn't stop at one of those charging stations, I did, but it was going so slow. It was a Blink charging station, BLINK. And I was like, okay, this is it. Nope, never been here before, so this was new. I got the hell out of there. I'm heading home. I'll just charge at the house. This is horrible. Can't wait to get home. Please pray for me.
And that's just the plight of every new EV owner. Charging and range anxiety. And not every charger is the same. You have to be going around searching for fast chargers, which is totally different from the trickle charger, which is totally different from the one that you actually get at home. You'll be forking out between $5,000 up to $20,000 to get the actual charger that you would need to maintain the charge on these vehicles, even though you may be charging overnight. But that's how much of the time, energy, and money you have to pay out of pocket. That's the cost you're going to have to pay in order to feel safe in terms of reliability, owning an EV, moving about your business, and not going too far from home.
One thing that happened to me was really my only bad experience with Rivian. My wife and I went for a flight down to Tampa, Florida for 3 or 4 days, and we came back. The truck had 70% battery. It was completely dead. I couldn't even get into it. The car is electric, so it won't even signal to unlock the car. My phone wouldn't work, and the door handles are also flush with the thing. So the only way to get in the car is to go through this long process of actually manually taking off the door, which really only Rivian technicians know how to do. Now, the reason the battery died so fast, Rivian couldn't even figure it out and didn't even tell me. I had a seatbelt that was plugged in for my dog that attaches to his harness. Now, what I had found out was when the seatbelt is plugged in, if you were to lock the vehicle and leave, the climate control on the display will not turn off. So when we went to the airport, I just quickly shut the door, locked the car, and then left because we're trying to go catch our flight. And when we dropped the dogs off to the dog sitter, I completely forgot that little seatbelt was plugged in, and it was plugged in the whole time. Not only was the camera recording for safety, but the climate control on the display was on. So the car probably died in 2 or 3 days. So that was one big negative thing that obviously could have been avoided, but I just had no idea that that was a feature.
It's all the teething pains of owning an electric car. Whenever you go out and buy the first model that rolls off the production line, you're going to be the guinea pig. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. The links are in the description box below. Stay sharp, stay educated, and I will catch you in the next one.